It's weekend after the weekend we said we were going to go and drive this thing and get some more gas in it and stuff and figure out the next fuel mileage run. But unfortunately, before last weekend started, Hurricane Ian came up the coast and kind of sat around here for about 8 days, I think it was. Seemed that way anyway. It was windy, raining, branches coming off trees, that kind of stuff for all last weekend. So that kind of put a damper on any ideas of going out and driving it. The old pickup truck is much better for driving in those kinds of conditions. This car doesn't really like to drive over broken branches and stuff like that get in the road when you're driving after a hurricane. So it's Friday night now, and I'm just going to go out and take it for a quick ride. Not going to video it or anything. I just checked the fluids. It's gotten a lot colder out since the last time we drove it 2 weeks ago. So I checked the tire pressures. They were at like 27 pounds. And I'm not 100% sure what I should be running in this. I think I was setting them at like 32, 33 all around. But I think it should be a little higher than that. So I went with 38 front and 36 in the back. And that should actually, I mean, since the car has a manual steering rack, this should lighten up the steering a little bit in the front. But later this weekend, we'll probably throw the camera in the car and take a ride and record that. Well, just went out for a ride in this car, and wow, it's still really amazing. And I'm not sure why, but I haven't changed anything, haven't touched it, done anything in 2 weeks almost, and took it out for a ride, and I guess it's the cold weather. I mean, it is like, I don't know, might be 70 degrees out, 68, something like that. Maybe a little cooler, I don't know. But on the top end right now, it just runs amazing. It is pretty different than what it was 2 weeks ago. I don't understand why. But yeah, I actually bounced it off the rev limiter in first gear for the first time since I had this transaxle in it. And so before, just so you know, before this transaxle is the turbo transaxle. It has longer gears in it. It has a longer, more highway friendly differential gear ratio, which is great for the V8. With the old transaxle that was meant for the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, I mean, it would break traction. Well, it didn't have a limited slip either, so it would break traction in first gear real easy, and it would hit the rev limiter. But I've had this transaxle in here for months now, and I've never had it hit the rev limiter in first gear, and this time it did, and it gave a pretty good pop when it hit the rev limiter, and it was right as I was shifting, so it wasn't as bad as before, where it's like bouncing off the rev limiter as I'm trying to shift it. But yeah, it's got some. It actually sounds different when you wind it out now. I have no idea why, but I'm not going to change it or anything. It sounds great. So more on that when we take our drive, maybe tomorrow or Sunday.